What is going on, guys? My name is Trevor. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video today. I know there is a ton of different videos you can watch here on YouTube, so very grateful you decided to take some time to watch this video today. Today, we are in front of the whiteboard. It's been a very long time for those of you guys who are subscribers to my channel that we've gone in front of the whiteboard. But today, we're gonna focus specifically on how to build wealth in college. It seems to be a common myth that you cannot do that while you go to college, while you're in high school, while you're just going through the school system. And I wanna change that. I wanna give you guys some steps that I've personally followed that has really helped me out going through the school system. I am myself going through college right now. I'm on my senior year. I got one more semester left. I'm 22 years old, and I just want to share this with you guys because I think it's very important. And as I'm approaching graduation here next semester, I'm looking back and saying, wow, there's a lot of people that do not learn how to manage their money. They do not learn how to invest. They do not know how to take care of themselves financially. And I want to change that, and that's why I started this YouTube video. So I recently just hit that $300,000 mark in my portfolios, and I'm extremely grateful and extremely proud of that. But what I do not want you guys to focus on in this video is that dollar amount or the portfolios whatsoever. Okay, what I want you guys to focus on is the mindset that I've had going through the school system and building wealth and finding ways to grow financially and put myself in a position financially to when after I'm graduated, I'm ready to go. You know, I don't have to worry about money. I don't have to, get a job that I don't like. I'm ready to go, and I'm happy after I graduate. I feel like a lot of people, they do not think about, their financial future during college, during high school and whatnot. So if you're a college student, this is really going to help you out. If you're a high school student getting into college, this is really going to help you out as well. If you already graduated, this is still going to help you guys out, okay? So before we get into this, full disclosure, I do hold Tesla stock. Okay, I do hold Tesla stock. This has largely contributed to why my account has recently hit $300,000. Okay, full disclosure, I'm just being honest. It is. It's helped my portfolio. It's helped a lot of other people's portfolio. Okay, and the reason I bring that up is because it seems like a lot of people that have held Tesla stock, they're just disregarded as, oh, you got lucky, you hold Tesla stock, and lucky you and all that. I don't want you guys to think about that. But if that really turns you off to watching this video, you're like, I don't want to listen to this advice because he bought Tesla and that's why he has the money. I just want to let you know before we get into this long video that I do hold Tesla stock, and that has helped greatly in my accounts. But for those of you guys that want to stick around, I really think you're going to get a ton of value out of this. So let's get right into this. Again, focusing on the mindset, not the portfolio, not anything else other than mindset. Okay, so let's get right into this. The first thing, if you want to build wealth as a college student, that I have personally found is you need to develop your why. Okay. Why do you want to build wealth as a college student? Okay, do you want to have Lamborghini money? Do you want to have financial freedom? Do you want to travel the world? Do you want to buy your parents a house? What do you want? Whatever it may be for you, you need to figure out your why. And we'll revisit this throughout the video, but you need to figure out your why because it's unique to you. This is so crucial that we answer this question because you clicked on this video for a reason. You're interested in building wealth. Maybe you're in college, you're in high school, right? Something along those lines. And you're like, yeah, I want to build wealth while I go through school. Okay, figure out why that is. Write it down. We're approaching, a new year here. Right now, we're in December 2020. We had a pretty crazy year. We're getting into 2021. Why would you want to build wealth, if you're around that college student, high school level? Okay, figure that out. That's very important. Now, I want to kind of give you guys my thought process on how I build wealth and how you can through college as well. Okay, so let's start here in college. Let's say right now you are in college. Okay, you're a college student. And right now you have a couple decisions, okay? There's a lot more decisions than 4, but these are like the 4 that I can think of off the top of my head. You're either going to community college right after you graduate high school, right? You're going to a 4-year, you're going to a public university, maybe a private university. You can go to the military, or you can go straight into work. You can go get a job, go start your career, you can make money right out of high school, right? There's nothing wrong with choosing either one of these. But for the sake of this video, we're going to assume that you're a college student or you're going to be a college student. So these are your main 2 options right here. Now, for me personally, what I decided was, nobody's going to accept me to a 4-year university. Private school wasn't even my vocabulary, and a 4-year public university wasn't even an option. So what I decided to do was community college. Now, going to community college was personally the smartest thing I have ever done in my life. Okay, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I figured, I just follow the traditional, I graduate high school and I'm going to go to school. So I decided to go to community college. All my friends went to public universities, private universities. It seemed like a ton of fun, but I couldn't get into that and I just wanted to, follow the traditional path and just go to school. Okay, right here is a big reason why I was able to build wealth during college. Okay, that was a huge reason. Why? Community college was much cheaper than taking out, student loans for me personally to go to a 4-year university. Now, maybe you're in a different position. Maybe your parents can pay for the entire college experience that you have. Maybe you have to pay for everything. Maybe you're going out of state, you're taking out a bunch of student loans. That's a decision that you and your family really need to have, and you need to decide, do I really need to go to a 4-year university? Do I really need to go to a private university? So if you're in high school and you're looking to go to college, right? You're wondering, where do I go? It depends on what you want to do, obviously. This is a personal choice, but a big decision should be, do I have to take out student loans, and why would I go to a 4-year public university, private university? What are the benefits? What are the cons? What are the pros and cons to doing this choice? Right now in 2020, I would tell you, like, okay, you're not really having a full college experience if you're going to a 4-year university right now. I mean, we're pretty much all online. So the difference between, a Zoom class at community college and a Zoom class at a 4-year university, public or private, depending on when you guys watch this video, this might drastically change, but it's definitely something to think about. If you're just going online, Zoom university, right? Definitely something to think about. Okay, so again, how to build wealth in college. It starts here. What do you want to do? I mean, depending on where you're at, if you're making this decision in high school, where do I want to go? What kind of school do I want to go? A big decision should be, do I have to take out student loans? Do I have to pay for my apartment? If your parents are paying for it, that may be a whole other story for you. If you're paying for it, it's a whole other situation as well. It's not just the classes, it's the apartment, and then it's the flying home for Thanksgiving in December and Christmas, and all these different expenses that you have to think about. Okay, so it starts here. Now, let's move on to once you're actually in college. Okay, so once you're actually in college, you have to work. Okay, and this blows my mind that so many people, they go to college and they just decide not to work whatsoever. Okay, and a lot of people just say they don't have time and whatever, but we always have time to go on Friday night and Saturday night out to the bars and whatever it is, right? Again, during pandemic time, it might be a little different. But it blew my mind when I was going through school, community college, that people said they did not have time to work during school. And I get it, you might be busy, but those of you guys that clicked on this video, you want to build wealth while you're in college, right? You're gonna have to work. Maybe that doesn't mean you're working at a job, maybe you start a business, maybe you do some side hustles, whatever, but you're gonna have to find some sort of income, okay? You're gonna have to work. Now, it's important that you have a balance, okay? I didn't just work and go to school. I talk about this in a whole nother video where I go into how I personally, put myself in a position to invest in the market and do all these different things. But I did much more than just work and go to school. That would be pretty boring to me, honestly. So you have to have a balance, and whatever that is for you, you have to decide. And that kind of helps when we tie it into your why, right? But what you have to realize is school is not enough, okay? And again, this is because I'm talking to the people here on this video that want to build wealth as a college student. If you're just going through school, if we think about the school system, you're going through school, you're so focused on getting those good grades, you're so focused on attending every class and getting those damn group projects done and doing all that stuff, and then you get spat out into the real world, get a job that you might not like, you got student loans, you got all these things that life just hits you, right? And you're like, well, I have no work experience, but I got the degree and a lot of debt. And we don't think about, wow, I probably should have had some sort of experience, working, actually getting out in the world and communicating with people and, solving problems and earning money and figuring out what to do with that money. There's real world experience and then there's school experience. And they are so different, it's insane, okay? It's so insane to me right now how many people think that going to school is enough and then that's gonna get them everything they want. You really, really, really need to figure out a balance and figure out what are you going to do for work. Again, this doesn't have to be a full-time career as you go through school, but you need to have some sort of income, in my personal opinion, okay? Third thing you can do to build wealth as a college student, you need to track everything, okay? I know on top of homework and, life as a college student, that's the last thing you want me to tell you, but if you're going to build wealth as a college student, you need to track everything. You need to track your income, your expenses, and how much you're investing, if you're investing at all, okay? So what I do, guys, is literally every month I have a plain piece of paper. I divide it into 3 columns. I go expenses, investments, and income. And I write down one by one what I spent, what I invested, and what I made for that month. That's what I do. And I've been doing that for about 2 years now. There's a lot of different apps that can track it for you, but it's important that, for me, that I write it down and I see how much I'm spending. I'm like, wow, I spent that much on fast food this month. Doesn't even make sense. Or wow, I spent that much on a brand new guitar or whatever it was. Like you don't really realize how much you spend until you look at it at the end of the month. It's amazing, trust me. Do it this month and then report back, comment below, and let me know, how that turned out for you when you start tracking everything. It's insane, guys. So Nate O'Brien always talks about it here on YouTube that imagine a business, right? Successful businesses, they know exactly where they're at financially. You need to treat yourself like a business, okay? You need to figure out, okay, this is where we're at. This is where I want to go. Let me figure out the errors that I'm making here so that I can correct them and get to the level that I need to be at. Okay, no business is like, oh, I don't know how much money we make, in a year. I don't know how much money we make in a quarter, or I don't know how much we spend or pay our employees. They have people that do that for them. They need to know where they're at. Are they making money? Are they expanding as a business? Are they getting worse? If they're getting worse, they're going to fix it, right? And we go back to the drawing board. That's what you need to do yourself, okay? And trust me, as a college student, you may not have a ton of expenses right now. Maybe all your expenses are just getting pizza and beer. Write it down, okay? Write it down. That's how much you spend. This is how much you make. If you're using a credit card, you're racking that up. Again, that's a whole nother story. But track everything, okay? And we're going through the very, very beginning steps, guys, because a lot of people don't even start with the basics. Then we'll get into, some of the more important things, but not important things, but more detailed things. So, number 4 here, invest, okay? If you watch my channel before, that's what I talk about a lot of the time, because a lot of people my age just don't invest because it's so risky and they have no idea what they're doing and they just think it's a scam, whatever it may be, right? Invest. It doesn't have to just be stocks. My channel's focused on stocks. It can be real estate. It can be starting a business. Make your money start working for you. When you're in college, generally you're younger, right? Younger means you can generally take more risks. Starting early is huge. Okay, I made videos on Roth IRAs. I've made videos on index funds and the difference between index funds and stocks. There's so many different things that might be better for you. Maybe you don't want to do stocks at all. Check out real estate. Check out starting a business. Don't just save all of your money and don't just spend all of your money. Put your money to use in some way that it's going to actually make you more money. It's a beautiful concept, guys. It's insane. And school doesn't teach it to you, which is why you go to YouTube University and you learn this stuff. It's insane. So, the other thing, take risks, okay? This is huge. Take calculated risk, okay? Don't just, buy all these SPAC companies and hope you make money, tomorrow and next week, okay? Take calculated risks. Calculate, okay, what is my risk going into an investment, whether that's be starting a business, whether that's real estate, whether that's stocks, and what is my potential reward? And write down the pros and cons, okay? It's amazing what you can find on a risk-reward perspective. And just even with a little bit amount of money, a lot of people are like, well, get it, Trevor, I'm in college, I don't have a lot of money, my income's not high. You don't have to have a lot of money to get started. I did not have a lot of money when I got started either. You just keep building and building and building, but it all starts with taking calculated risks, okay? Taking risks are good, but taking calculated risk is very, very important. We want to be smart with taking risks, obviously, okay? Now, for me, a great example of a calculated risk was Tesla, okay? I talked about how in the beginning, full disclosure, I invest in Tesla stock. It really has helped out my account. But guess what? This entire process, this entire Tesla stock, my account, it wouldn't have happened if I did not follow this process and put myself in a position to be able to buy Tesla stock, okay? Again, we use Tesla stock as an example because it's done really well. But this is literally any other opportunities. Put yourself in a position to start that business. Put yourself in a position to get into real estate, buy stocks, okay? So you may think that you don't have enough money to start or you don't have the experience or whatnot. Getting started and just starting is absolutely crucial, guys. It's absolutely crucial. Once you get started, you learn from your mistakes, you continue to keep building, and you continue to get better. But I want to stress this. This is so very, very important. This is what I talked about at the beginning, the mindset, because without following something similar to this, not having a plan and having a why, okay, I wouldn't have been able to put myself in a position to invest in stocks. And I've been doing it for about 3 years now, and Tesla's not obviously my only position that has done well, but it's all about putting myself in a position to know how to buy stocks, know when to buy stocks, know how much to buy, so that, my account goes up. It's as simple as that, guys. And then when the account goes down, I know how to play it as well, because now I've learned from people. I have mentors, I have coaches, I have people that I surround myself that make me better. So again, I don't want you to focus on the dollar amount. I don't want to focus on, Tesla or the stocks in general. I want you to focus on, there was an opportunity that I found going through the school system to build wealth that didn't require me, to have anything crazy experience. You know what I mean? Like, out of all these investments, I love stocks because it's the most liquid. I can have access to my money fairly quickly, right? Real estate, your money's tied up in houses, it can be generally less liquid than something like the stock market, right? Businesses, sometimes, you can't get access to money pretty quickly either, right? So stocks has got its pros and cons compared to the two, obviously. But you really, really need to think, okay, I need to look for opportunities that come up. I just need to be aware of opportunities. And if there's one thing that I really, really do like about myself, I do think I have a really good job of seeing other opportunities, and I take advantage of opportunities as they present themselves. And I don't know everything before I go into them, but I personally feel like I am ready to go once an opportunity arises. And with Tesla, I found that opportunity. I looked at the risk, I looked at the reward, what I talked about, and I made the investment, and it's obviously then doing really, really well. But again, guys, it's because I set myself up for a scenario like that and for that opportunity. Focus on the long term as well. This is another huge one, okay? There's so many different strategies. Again, there's thousands of people here on YouTube talking about their strategy and what's worked for them and how everything, what they do and all that. But for me, I would just tell you, focus on the long term. Don't think about everything so much in the short term. I feel like we don't think far out enough, not just financially, but everything else revolving around our lives right now. Again, I'm talking to the college students that are my age. Think long term, okay? Think long term on literally everything you're doing, okay? The last step here to how to build wealth as a college student, repeat everything we talked about, except probably I don't want you to repeat college, so skip number one. Repeat. You're going to continue to work. You're going to continue to have a balanced life, okay? You're going to work, you're going to do some fun things, and you're going to go to school, if that's the route you're taking, because that's what we're talking about in this video, okay? Keep working, keep going to school, and you cycle that through, okay? Then you track everything. Maybe you start getting a raise at your job. Maybe you get fired from your job. You got to find another job, and you're tracking your expenses, you're tracking your income, and you're tracking how much you're investing. You repeat this process. Why? Because we're thinking long term. This change isn't going to happen overnight. You got to think long term, okay? After we're tracking everything, we're investing, okay? What percentage of how much you make, that's completely up to you. I can make a separate video on that, but what I would say is try to increase that percentage as much as you can based on how much you make. Why? Because your risk tolerance should be much higher while you're in college, in my opinion, while you're younger. Not just in college, but just younger in general. We have much more of a window of opportunity and much more window of growth as we're younger than somebody that's, closer to retirement. And they'll probably tell you, I wish I started investing, when I was 20 or when I was 21, 22 in college. Okay, it doesn't just mean stocks. It just means investing. Whether that's investing in yourself and you're buying a bunch of books and you're figuring out what you want to do for a career or whatever it is. There's so many different terms that go under the term, or blanket terms that go under investing. Okay, it could be investing in yourself, investing in an asset that makes you money. There's so many different things we could talk about here, but invest and just repeat everything, guys. It's just a continuous cycle, okay? Now I want to get over to the next part of this video. So why do all this? Okay, I want to share with you guys my experience on why this has been transformational with my life. Again, it's not just having the $300,000 in the market. It is so much more than that. What I want to talk about here is now I have no debt whatsoever. And again, full disclosure here, I currently, since I'm still in school, I live with my parents. I still live with my siblings. I'm here with my family because my school was 10 minutes down the road. I'm like, why do I need to go move out into some apartment where I'm going to pay $2,000 a month for a one-bedroom studio apartment here in California? It just keeps getting crazier and crazier. So, if you're fortunate enough to do that, I would say do that as long as you can. I don't want to be here too long, obviously. I already look like I'm 28, so people freak out when I say that. But you need to understand, if you're able to do that, I don't need to go move out right away. I'm still going to school. It's convenient for me to be here and save as much money as I can so that I can continue to invest and I continue to have a savings so that when I move out, I'm much more prepared financially, okay? So I have no debt because I haven't made any stupid decisions getting myself into crazy amounts of debt. I have a Honda Civic, paid it off. I'm gonna have a Honda Civic for a very, very long time, I guess, unless this YouTube channel takes off and I can join everybody buying Teslas and whatever it is. So, but yeah, no debt. Very, 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 very helpful that I don't have that, guys. It's so, so nice, and I highly recommend try not to get into any debt whatsoever if you are trying to invest in anything here. It just brings it down a little bit. Your opportunities are so much greater if you don't have debt to build wealth. Okay, so and there's good debt and bad debt in my opinion, but that's for another video as well. So guess what? Now I also have experience. Why do I have experience? What do I mean by that? Well, I didn't just go to school. Okay, I didn't just go to school. I balanced everything that I'm doing. Okay, I was a server for 5 years. I have serving experience, which I'm not so focused on that it was serving experience. I'm focused on it was communication. It was solving problems. It was, making a lot of friends there that I really, really enjoyed my time there. And, it was an overall great experience being with a company for 5 years. You'll learn a lot about just business and money and how everything works, when you work somewhere for so long. So, having experience was absolutely crucial because a lot of people, again, rely solely on just school to give them all the experience that they need. Personally, I don't think that's, a smart decision. So now I have options as well. And that's why I do everything I do. You guys want to know my why? I have options. I can pursue anything I want. Right now, if I want to quit YouTube and I want to, quit my job and quit doing all these things and pursue music full time, I can do that. I don't know if that'd be the smartest thing, but I feel like I could be like, yeah, you know what? For the next year or two, I'm just going to pursue music 100%, not work, sell some stocks, and I can do that. Now, the opportunity cost of doing that is a whole nother situation, a whole nother discussion, but I now have options to do a lot of the things that I wouldn't have been able to do if I didn't implement doing this at a younger age and putting myself in that position. And again, I did not make a lot of money whatsoever. I want to be very, very clear on that. I was a server, okay? So you don't make a ton of money. But again, my expenses very, very minimal. And I go into this video, I go into this in much more in depth in another video. So watch that if you have not already. But I now have options because of these decisions, okay? Now this also gives me a lot of confidence. Now this isn't like, flexing and being cocky or whatever. It's just for me, I'm now more confident in, okay, if I put my mind into something and I work hard, I can actually do what I want to do. It's amazing. Like during school, I was so bad in school, so my confidence was very, very low on starting anything new or studying for anything or, doing YouTube videos or whatever. But now that I've done all these different things, right, learned how to invest in the stock market, bought these courses, learned from these people, I just get around people that are much better than me. So my confidence is pretty low when I start out doing things. But if you surround yourself with people that are much better than you, it changes the game, guys. It changes everything in every aspect of what I'm doing in my life right now. Investing in the stock market, doing music, doing YouTube, doing all these different things. I'm in groups where I am the worst in what I'm doing, right? Like everybody else is so much better than me, so much more talented and everything. But since I'm around those people, it's making me better overall. And I think that's the biggest reason why I put confidence up here, because I'm starting to build that as I progress, okay? And that, guys, is going to be the key to build wealth as a college student. I personally feel like blending all of this together and then being able to actually apply it in the real world is absolutely crucial, guys. So thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch this video. If you have any questions on any of this stuff, please let me know in the comments below. I'd be happy to help you guys out. Also, send me a message on Instagram. If you guys want to send me a message privately, DM me there and I'd be happy to help you out. So thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch this one, and I will see you on the next video.